My name is Hannah, and this is my year of less stuff. Hey y'all, so today I am just filming a simple video. I'm not sure whether it will be simple and quick. It might not be quick because I'm hoping to actually go through each individual item of makeup in my vanity and show each thing to you. It's going to be like a full collection tour and also, de facto a tour of how I'm storing my makeup and skincare right now. So this is the little corner of our apartment in which I do my filming, and it's also my vanity that I just use, to put on my makeup and skincare. This is where I film. I was watching Angie right when I was setting up for this video, so that's her video up there. Those are my lights and everything, and that's my backdrop. It's like a little office corner that I have here, and that's the rest of the wallpaper. You guys don't usually get to see the birds because they're out of frame, but I think it looks so beautiful. So I'm going to try to just kind of speed through item by item. It's kind of interesting because this is my year of less stuff to catalog everything, because hopefully, even though I feel like this is a relatively edited collection, especially compared to how it's been during other parts of my tenure on YouTube, I'm hoping it will get even smaller by the end of the year. So in a way, this could be like a reference video for that. Let's just start here at the front with skincare. I'm going to go item by item. So this is the soap that I use for soap brows. This is my current stash of gel pads for underneath my eyes. I usually don't have dark under eyes, but sometimes I wake up in the morning and they're really puffy and icky looking, and I like to have something like this around in case that happens. These Simbri gave to me, and I just haven't gotten that much use out of them. I do like them. I guess since I got them, I haven't had that many under eye issues, but I like having them. Oh, this is interesting. I don't really know what this is doing here. This is like a balm that I was given, I think at BeautyCon. It's a Centella Asiatica multi-balm, and I know that Centella Asiatica is supposed to be a really good ingredient, especially for acne-prone skin, but I haven't ever really found a way to use this. I inventoried it. It doesn't really have a location in my collection. I've sort of dug into it once or twice and tried to figure out how it could be useful, and I've never really found a use for it. So I'm actually going to go ahead and declutter that today. I didn't expect to do that, but I'm going to put it there. And if I come across anything else that I'm ready to declutter, I'll put it there too. We'll do like a little declutter as we go. So this is Neosporin. Sometimes if I get really bad acne that's like disrupted and open, I'll put this on it to heal it. I like having that there. These are two different kinds of like lash and brow growth serums that I'm trying to get through. One is from Cell and one is from Babe Lash, and I don't really know if they're doing anything, and that's because I'm not very good at applying them consistently. I like forget to put them on, and so I haven't really been a very good tester with those. This is the Madecassoside sleeping mask. This was sent to me by Yes Style. It's by APU. I really like the effect of this, but I don't really like the texture. It's too lightweight, but I am working my way through it. I tend to put it on as a last step, as a second to last step. So I'll put it on and then I'll put a thicker sleeping cream on top of it. This is my current bottle of Good Genes. This was a gift from a friend. I basically use it like once every 2 weeks in a thick layer as my only night treatment. I use it kind of like as an overnight facial, and that's how I'm making the bottle last so long. I do really like the effect of this, even though I feel like it's too pricey for me to spend my own money on. This is a sunscreen that I received as PR. It's from the brand Kula. It wasn't actually Kula that sent it to me. It was a party favor at Simbri's party. And I've been going through it. I've been using it kind of like interchangeably with my Aaron's Faces sunscreen, but I like this one so much more that I'm inclined to try to save it and savor it. So I've kind of been like using the Kula one to use it up because it's perfectly good, but I would rather just have the one from Aaron's Faces. So you can see I've used quite a lot of it. There's also just not that much in here. That's another reason why it's going so fast. It's only 1.5 fluid ounces. This Lauren gave to me. It's from Amore Pacific, and it's their vintage single extract essence. I have been using it as an essence. I do like it. Nothing about it has caused me to like freak out and fall in love such that I feel like everyone needs to run out and spend like the $80 or whatever it costs. I'm not the biggest fan of Amore Pacific. It's okay. This is actually a hair product. It's, what is it? It's the Amika Bushwick Beach texture spray. I put it into the Lila B setting spray bottle because I really like the sprayer on this, and the Bushwick Beach texture spray bottle was getting clogged. I really, really like that product though, that Amika product. And since that was hair, let's just do all the rest of the hair stuff. So this is my current kind of main texture spray. It's the Surge Salon texture spray. I love it. I'm not sure you can buy this online though. Jen sent this to me, Jen from Living the Dream, and she got it from her friend who's the one who formulated it and sells it at the salon. So it's like a very niche product. If they have made it available online by the time this video goes up, I'll definitely link it. It's almost done. So I'm going to have to pull a different texture spray from my backups box pretty soon. This is my current only dry shampoo. I think there might be a mini of a dry shampoo in my backups box right now. I just don't use dry shampoo very often, so this is almost full. It's by Amika. I really like this hair powder. It's just called powder. Hair Story powder. So it's by a brand called Hair Story, and it's very volumizing. And this is the other volumizing hair product I have out here right now. It's the Marc Antony Dream Big Volume. It's like a really, really sticky spray powder. And this is a great product. This is a great budget option for a sticky volumizing hair powder. I think that the one from Hair Story is kind of expensive. This is the fan that I use if I'm ever setting my face and I want a fan. This is the Glossier setting spray or I guess it's just like a mist, soothing face mist that I use exclusively to spray onto this soap in order to do soap brows. This is a really beautiful hair oil from the Green Room, Hair Glow Elixir. And I've been actually making it last a pretty long time, and that's because I only use it a couple of drops on the ends of my hair right before I wash it. So I really only use like 4 or 5 drops once a week. I think the Green Room might still only be available in China. This is a nice layering serum. I've been enjoying this one a lot, as you can tell. It's from Nacific. It's the Fresh Herb Origin Serum, and this is available in Yes Style. It's another great budget option if you're looking for something that is going to provide a nice layer, lock-in hydration. It's like a biphase serum, so it's watery, serum-y stuff mixed with an oil, and it's a nice transition from serums to oils in my routine when I'm doing the most. This is the Lotion P50, and I've made pretty decent progress on this at this point. Maybe just a quarter of it is left. I use it again about once a week, like good jeans. And once a week, I put it on as my first step in my evening routine. It's just a powerful chemical exfoliant. This is a salicylic acid-based serum from Caudalie, and I really was impressed by it when I first started using it because it cleared up some weird bumps that I had around my mouth. And then I learned that it has a ton of alcohol in it, so I've been using it a little bit more sparingly. I've kind of just been using it as a spot treatment on eruptions in the skin and little bumps like that. And that's why I've kind of slowed down my use of it. So maybe about half of it is gone. I'm going to keep it around for now though. I do find that it's really useful if I want to clear something up super fast. This is interesting. My friend Daisy sent this to me, and actually I may not even have I think I inventoried it because I think she sent it to me before the beginning of this year, but I may not ever have actually shown it. I might have forgotten to put it in the reckoning. She sent this to me because she knows that I used to really like it. Sorry, I'm having trouble focusing. It used to be my main source of retinol, or my only source of retinol or retinoid in my routine. And then I ran out of the bottle and I wanted something less expensive, and I ended up finding this one from Body Mary that I've recommended a lot. I really, really love this. Simbri gave this one to me, but I would definitely buy it again. And this is what I've been using regularly. But when Daisy sent this to me, I decided to try to incorporate it and kind of trade off between the two of these. I started using it and my skin got really dry. And I'm sure that it was the retinoid that made it dry. It just shows that it's actually kind of a bit of a more powerful retinoid product than the Body Mary. So I may still try again, like try to reincorporate it, try to get over that hump of dryness, because I really like it and it's a shame to let it go to waste. I just haven't picked it back up again because I just haven't wanted to deal with that dry skin again. But I do know that once my skin acclimates to this, it's really, really a good product. So I'm grateful to have this bottle. This is the eye cream that I'm currently using. It's by Verify, a woman-owned Canadian brand. Really, really lovely brand, and this is a great product. I like this eye cream a lot. I think that if you live in Canada, Verify is actually kind of a unique thing in that it's pretty readily available in store in some places, but it's like a great breakaway indie brand to be able to support. This is one of my favorite discoveries of recent months, is the Good Molecules Overnight Exfoliating Treatment. This is my exfoliating treatment of choice, both for its effect and for its amazing low price. It's like $6. I talked about this recently in my video about if I were starting from scratch with my skincare routine, if I were buying all of my skincare over again myself, this is what I would choose as my one chemical exfoliant. So I would just have this instead of the Lotion P50, the Caudalie Serum, Good Genes. Those are my exfoliating treatments right now, right? Yeah, I think that might be it right here for exfoliating treatments. But I have 4 right here, and I feel like they could all be condensed down to just one $6 one because it's so effective. Let's look at the oils that I'm using right now. I guess I'm just down to 3 oils on my Vanity that I'm making my way through. So this was sent to me by the brand Lacquer, and it's nice. I'm still trying to decide whether I like it enough to use the whole bottle. It has that geranium oil smell that's not my favorite. I can't really tell if it's like having a great effect on my skin, but I don't think it's hurting my skin. I think it's doing what a good oil does. And look how beautiful it is. I mean, it's really pleasant to use. This La Prunier oil, I can't tell because it's totally opaque, but I think I've used quite a lot of it. My skin really, really loves it. It's just like pure plum oil, I think. It smells really good too. And then this is my hero product, the Tamanu oil from Aaron's Faces. And lastly, for skincare, I've been using a lot of this too. Simbri gave this to me. It's the Collins Hyaluronic Filler. It's basically just a creamy hyaluronic acid serum, and that creaminess has been helping my dry skin a lot. That is a really nice product. And then look at this, I got the Lateral Cactus cream for myself. Actually, I didn't talk about this. This is a new release from Laneige. It's a sleeping mask, and I like it, but I don't absolutely love it. And since I got this, I kind of jumped the gun by getting the Cactus cream, even though I hadn't completely run out of sleeping masks yet. This is my last one, actually. But I've been struggling to get through the last couple of uses of this because it's been so tempting to reach for this each time. So pretty soon I'll just take myself to task and knock this one out, and then this will be my one and only layering mask for sleeping. So that's the skincare and hair care that I've got out here on my Vanity. Moving right along, these are my brushes, and they are so beautiful. I love my brushes right now, and I feel like that's a really good amount of brush for me to have. I try to keep the eye brushes here. Well, these are face brushes that have sneaked over. So these are pretty much all my eyeshadow brushes. I've also been keeping this. This is like an eyebrow pencil in here, but I just keep it here for the spoolie. So eyeshadow brushes. These are like my most used complexion cheek brushes. And these are like the Big Daddy bronzing and, you know, some powder brushes that I use a little bit less frequently. Very pleased with my brush collection right now. To me, it's like just robust enough, but also edited. These are my 2 little mirrors. This one is the little one that I got for filming myself doing makeup. Like I use it, I don't use it for filming, but I use it as my mirror when I'm filming, because this one, which I prefer because of its size, has another mirror on the back, and so it's not good for filming. This is an interesting little corner. These are 2 body oils. So this is one that, this is actually the only thing I've requested from Octoly in a really long time. It's a body oil from, so the brand is called Terre d'Afrique, and the oil smell is called Savannah Dew. It has a really beautiful, rich, earthy smell. I just love body oils. Body oils are what I use instead of body lotions. So I was excited to have the chance to give this a try. I have used it a couple of times, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, this is just the kind of thing that it's like, I feel so lucky to be able to have and use. I think the price point's a bit high for me. I don't think I would buy this for myself, but it is beautiful. And this is another body oil. Simbri gave this to me, the Orange Blossom Balm oil from J.A. Apothecary, J.A. Diconis Apothecary. All I know is that this smells effing amazing. I love, love, love using both of these oils on my body. So I've been keeping them here because I find that I'm more likely to actually use body oil if I after I take a bath or a shower, I come out here and I sit at my vanity and I do all my skincare. And then right after that, I go in with a body oil just sitting here. I'm more likely to use them than I am to use them like in the bathroom before coming out here. I don't know. It's just been working better for me, so that's why they're here. These are 3 setting spray type things. This is pretty much done. This, I didn't realize this was so empty. I'll be lucky if I get like 1 more spray out of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick this with my empties. And I'll probably remember to reach in and use those last couple of sprays before I actually film my empties. This is a great product, the Rose Tone by Connie. Gorgeous toner spray, but I use it like as a refresher spray or as a setting spray. And it gives a really nice glossy finish, even though it's not advertised as being like a luminous or dewy kind of mist. I really enjoyed using that. Under here I have my empties, along with, sometimes I put empty boxes of things in here. I keep them around for a little while in case I want to remember to like talk to you guys about them and I want to have the box for reference, but most of what's in there is empties. This is the Purgatory box and that's the backups box. So these are actually the 2 setting sprays that I'm using right now. This is the Power Up Duo Phase Setting Spray by In Beauty Project, and this is just a bottle of all-nighter. I use the all-nighter if I ever really want to like set my face down, which isn't very often. I use this one if I want sort of like a dewy and, you know, bright finish. It is also a biphase. It has some oil in there, which is part of what makes the skin look dewy when you spray it on. We're getting into the good stuff, the makeup. Let's go through these lippies on top. This is Erin's Face's Nancy. I love this lipstick and I put it right here in the front corner to remind myself to use it more often. It's like a gorgeous rusty color, really, really pretty. This right here is that little mini of Bobbi Brown Babe. I've had it, gosh, since I think my No Buy Year. I think it was like a Sephora Point perk with a replacement that I purchased from Sephora during my No Buy Year. And I fell in love with this formula when I got it. This is Charlotte Tilbury Bond Girl. This is Charlotte Tilbury Bond Girl also. They're like living here together in their little corner. This is a Glossier Rose Balm.com. I gave the Balm.com another chance when I did that Glossier review and I actually really enjoyed it. But I'm going to lie it down here in front so I can put another, maybe I'll put like a gloss in there when we get to the glosses. This is the L'Oreal Color Reshine in Dazzling Dough. Back here we have NARS Het Low, is one of my all-time favorite lippies, and it's living in this little spot with the Givenchy Lip Pencil in number 9 Lip Brown. That's another all-time favorite lippy. Actually, maybe I'll move them up here. They're so iconic. I've really been enjoying this lip pencil. It's by LA Girl, and it's in the shade Cafe. And I have another LA Girl one, this one, Sugar and Spice. So that's Sugar and Spice and that's Cafe. And I've actually been pretty impressed by the formula of this LA Girl lip liner, and I really like both of these colors. So they've actually been getting a lot of play from me. This right here is a Lancome product. It's like a lipstick and lip gloss combined. It was limited edition. Maybelline Beige Babe, kind of an iconic member of my collection. And then this is Lisa Eldridge Velvet Fawn, which actually surprisingly hasn't been getting as much use as I thought it would when I bought it. So maybe I should put it here next to the Erin's Faces one to try to remind myself to use it. These are 2 Bobbi Brown crushed lip colors. I love this formula. This one here is Telluride. Oh wait, no. Where's the other one? So Bobbi Brown Bear is missing. It's probably in one of my purses, but it usually lives among these as well. This is Maybelline Gone Grage. Love that one. Back here is NARS Sheop. I'm actually going to move Sheop to the front. I'd like to wear that soon as well. Some Charlotte Tilbury lippies, Legendary Queen is like a rich red, and Birkin Brown. Love that. Here we have Raw Chocolate. It's another Maybelline matte, probably my favorite lipstick of all time. This is NARS Catherine. This is another one I would love to get a little bit more use out of. I'm going to put it right here. Glossier's Generation G lipstick in Leo. I actually wore this today. This is a great gloss. I keep the glosses in this drawer down here and I keep like the lipsticks up here, but sometimes I put a gloss up here just to like keep it in the mix. And also I think at this point, just in terms of like fit, there are often empty spaces, like 1 or 2 of them will migrate to my purses, and then there will be empty spaces, and so sometimes I'll put glosses up just to like, again, like give them a little bit of attention. So this is a Revlon The Gloss in Indulge in It. It's a bit of a darker color than the other one that I've talked a lot about, which is the Revlon Super Lustrous The Gloss in Blissed Out. But I love both of them. I really, really like them. And I'm glad that this is up here. I want to remind myself to wear it more. I was just thinking about that today, actually. So this is an Herbivore Lip Balm, a really great product that's almost completely panned. I don't know if you can see through the glass bottom, but there's only a little bit around the edges. This is Tom Ford Wild Ginger. Love it so much. This is a great sort of pinkish red lippy from Givenchy. This is limited edition packaging, but they make it, you don't have, like it wasn't limited edition, the color, Mandarin Bolero, it's part of their permanent line. And then this is a K-Beauty product. It is the Rom and Velvet Lip Tint in number 12 and Shirley. I'm not sure that's what it's called. I think it's like Velvet Lip something, but it was part of the Anne of Green Gables collection. NYX Lip Liner in London. Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in Savage Rose. Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in Walk of Shame. Those were gifts. These lip liners were gifts. But NYX London I bought myself. I love all of my lip liners. All of them are up here, and I use them all as lipsticks, basically. This is one of my favorites, or no, this is the one that's one of my favorites of the K-Beauty products I've tried. It's the 3CE Style Nanda Soft Lip Lacquer in #explicit. Such a gorgeous, sort of watery, dreamy formula. But I also really like this one. It's a little bit moussier. It's the Velvet Lip Tint, and this is in the color Childlike. It's really, really bright, almost fluorescent. And then these are 2 more NARS Lippies, those like velvet crayons. This one is in Pussy Control. I really love this purple color. This is one I try on a lot during makeup playtime, but I don't remember to wear it like during the day. So I'm going to try to wear that more often in the coming weeks. And then this is Famous Red, another really brightly colored NARS lippy. I'm actually going to put them up again. Like the things that are in this front corner closer to me when I'm doing my makeup tend to get more play. So I like to gather them here as like a little casual shop my stash, the ones that I'm trying to wear more. Okay, let's look in these drawers. So, oh, this is interesting. This is the Natasha Denona Chroma Crystal Top Coat in Gray Brown. I've had a really hard time letting go of this because it's so pretty, and I just don't wear it that often. I feel like the only time I ever wear it is when I'm trying to test it to see if I want to keep it. I feel like if I want some sort of top coat, I tend to reach into my palettes over here. I'm going to put it on notice, on declutter notice. Ooh, it's kind of scary. We'll return to it. L'Oreal Infallible in Eternal Black. I really, really love that guy. This is the Shine Fix Eyes in Romantic Floor. Love this as well. It's another sort of just, it's sort of loose, a loose like crushy, pearly, all over the lid shade, really pretty. This is an amazing liquid Sydney Grace shadow. It's in the shade My Bond, and it's just got like 1,000 colors in it. And then this is Nomad Spice Market. I haven't used this since I kept it in The Reckoning. I just, again, if I want a single shadow, I'm reaching for my eyeshadows over there. I just don't feel like I need to hang on to this and just keep like being disappointed in myself for not using it. And I feel like it's a pretty similar color to Romantic Floor. Romantic Floor is like this pinky red, and it's just like more of a reddy red. I have stuff like that in my palette, so I think I can probably let go definitely of that one and maybe of this one. We'll see. Let's look in here. These are some of my prides and joys, all of my Rowan products. So the 75 Degrees Warm palette, this is the Rowan Cool palette, 52 degrees, and then this is the Summer Disco shadow. So pretty. Here are all of my current lip glosses. Oh, this might actually be all of them because I think, well, there might be one that fits right there. There might be one in my purse somewhere, but this is most of them. So the In Beauty Project lip oil, really, really yummy, glossy, indulgent. the St. Jane CBD microdosing lip gloss. I just really like the shimmery finish of this. And this is also really, really shimmery. It's by PYT. Super pretty, glittery glosses. This is the Air & Spaces lip gloss. It is so pretty. It's totally flavorless. It's supposed to be like really great for people who sometimes have allergic reactions to lip products because it doesn't have any allergens or sensitizing ingredients in it. But it's also really, really, really pretty. And it's sort of like my clearest and most neutral, easiest to wear gloss. I really love these Persona glosses. This is the kind of gloss color, the coral Persona gloss, that I wouldn't think that I would really love. Like, I wouldn't have bought it. I would have gone for Honey, the brown one here. But I actually find myself reaching for the coral one more often. There's something about the way that it like lights up the lips, but it still remains like relatively neutral because it's so sheer that it suits my makeup style a lot. This is a great plumping gloss. It's the Hi-Fi Shine Lip Cushion Gloss from Urban Decay. I reach for this when my lips are feeling kind of like wrinkled old raisins, and I like put it on and they pump right up. They plump right up, and that's pretty much all that I use it for. The finish is fine, but it's not like it's different from any other gloss. This is another one of those L'Oreal duos. It's got a really bright orange lipstick on one side and an orange gloss on the other. I tend to reach for this mostly for the lipstick. My Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb from Daisy. It's in the shade Fussy, and this right here is an Urban Decay Vice. It's like that weird sort of staining, plumping product that they released a couple of months ago. These are all of my eyeliners, and gosh, let's just go through them really quickly. This is a metallic luster liner by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm not even sure they like sell this anymore, at least not in Sephora, but it's a really, really pretty bright gold. It's in the shade Liquid Gold. This one's by Milani. It's like a red. This is by Lancome. It was also limited edition. It's taupe. These are the green and the blue Linda Halberge like sparkly liner crayon thingy. I can't remember the name right now. This is another one that was part of that limited edition Lancome collection, and it looks blue, and I always remember to reach for it because it really looks blue, but it's actually kind of like a gray. I wish I were using it more often because it's such a pretty color, but it scares me off because it looks peacock. This is my most used liner. It's the Persona brown liner. This is a Glossier sort of burgundy liner. This right here is Urban Decay. This is my second most used one. I just reach for brown more often, but this is my favorite one. It's the Urban Decay 24/7 in Perversion. This isn't actually a liner, but I find I use it the most as sort of like a smudge stick in the outer corner and along the lash line, which is what I use liners for too. It is number 46 by Kiko. It's like an oil spill. It's so pretty. And then this is a Lise Watier, sort of like shimmery burgundy brown. A lot of shimmery burgundy brown and red liners in here. That I use those kinds of things a lot. Okay, in here I keep this little brush because it doesn't sit very well in my taller brush containers. And then I also keep these lipsticks. Oh, here's Bobbi Brown Bear. How did it get in there? So these four are the M Cosmetics Infinite Lip Clouds. I really, really love this formula, and in theory I'm keeping them here in this container to try to remember to use them more often. Faded Clementine, Morning Mocha, French Nude, and Magic Hour. I love all four of the colors, and I love the formula, and I just haven't been wearing them that often. And then this is the Alter Ego liquid lipstick, the one that I kept of the bunch they sent me. It's in the color Intrigue, and it kind of reminds me, it dries down a little bit more, to be a little more stubborn than the lip clouds, but it's such a thin formula that to me they sort of all live together. If I wanted this type of thing, I would reach for this one interchangeably with these ones. And I just need to remember to use these more often. I tend to look at this area when I'm going for a lipstick and forget about these. So actually, maybe I should switch this up. Maybe I should move these over here and store these right there. I think that they'll get more action. Should I open all the palettes? I think I can. I haven't been opening things because I only have the one hand, but I'll try to open the palettes. Right here in front is the one I've been reaching for the most because it's a travel palette that I made when I went to Portland. I really love this big, beefy Tarte magnetic palette. It's just an empty magnetic palette, but the mirror broke on me when I was traveling most recently and I covered it with duct tape, and I haven't been able to bring myself to dismantle this and declutter it yet. I might actually leave it as just a mirrorless palette because I love the shape and the size so much. This is a mix of singles and Clionadh shadows, which are singles, and Natasha Denona shades that I've popped out of their palettes. I also have Apricot in the middle. That was the only blush I took to Portland, the only powder blush, and some ColourPop glitters. That's pretty much what's in here. A lot of it's Natasha Denona and Clionadh, but I guess I put this together like weeks ago when I traveled, and I've just been enjoying it so much that I haven't done anything else, and I haven't really used anything else since then in terms of powder eyeshadow. This is the Nabla Cutie palette. Really like these two shades, Seducer and Glorious. I really, really like those two shades. They do look wetter than a lot of eyeshadows, a lot of shiny eyeshadows. And I have been reaching for this to pat one of the two of those over the top of my neutral look a lot lately. This is a little empty Z palette. I often use this when traveling just like to and from work. I'll pop a couple shades in here. I've been often popping shades out of here and putting them in here, traveling with it, and then coming home and putting them back in their spots in that. That's what I've been doing lately. When I was thinking about this video, I didn't make any declutter decisions in advance, but I sort of glanced over my palettes and I thought about what I might consider decluttering. And I thought about this one, and then immediately I was like, no way. This is a limited edition Lancome palette, and it's half creams. It's half cream shadows. It doesn't get enough play in my collection, so what I would like to do is kind of shop my stash for it in a way, use it more, but I really don't want to declutter it. I really, really, really love the looks that I get from this. I find that the blend of the burgundies and the blues with creams mixed in is very unusual, and it's kind of like an unusual take on cool tones, unusual take on something smoky. It's just a really special palette to me. This is another empty magnetic palette that I just use as a tool. This palette is one that I have newly been, I mean, it's not like I wasn't impressed by it before, but I've just been reminded lately of how awesome it is, and I've been like singing its praises a lot. It's the Persona Identity 2 palette. And I just use it all the time. I just use it all the time. It's like, apart from my singles, like this type of thing, it's my most used palette. And I kind of considered when I went to Portland just taking it, and then I gave in to the temptation to make like a glamorous bunch of singles and take them instead. But it could definitely serve that purpose of just being like the only palette that I travel with, maybe with a couple of really, really extraordinary duochrome singles to top off the looks. But gosh, it's just like endlessly useful, and the performance level of the shadows is so high. Really impressed by that. That's probably one of like my top 2 or 3 palettes like ever. Right now, that's how it feels at least. I'm really impressed by that. Love it. The Lila palette is been completely hijacked by my palette of singles. Half of them are in here. Love this. I use those individual shades a lot. This is a palette from Alter Ego, the Sahara palette. This is another one that I'd kind of like to shop my stash for. I really love the mixture of sort of like creamy textures and shimmers and mattes in here, and I just end up overlooking it and reaching for other things. I'm gonna kind of like put these two to the front and remind myself to use them more often. This is the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette, and it too has lost a lot of shadows to this mega travel palette. I took a lot of them out and took them with me to Portland, and I found them more useful as singles than I find them when they're in this palette. I don't end up reaching into this palette for its own sake very often because I feel like there's not enough tonal variety. There's not enough depth basically for me. But I am loath to declutter it because I love using Natasha Denona singles to build my own palettes. So for the time being, I'm definitely going to hang on to that one. The gold palette maybe my all-time favorite palette. It's also missing almost half of its shades because they are in my travel palette. The Daydream palette is still my favorite one that Alter Ego has ever released. I freaking love this palette. Maybe I'll pull this. Oh, also a shade has been popped out. That's in my travel palette. Or I think it might be in a different magnetic palette somewhere. But this one too, I kind of want to maybe use more aggressively in the coming weeks. So I'm going to set that one aside. Okay, we're back. Sorry guys. I don't even remember what I was talking about because I was filming and then Joe came in and we had a whole conversation and then he left again to go to the gym. But I assume that we were talking about eyeshadow palettes. And I was about to reach back here and talk about the Alma palette. This is another palette that I end up reaching into a lot in makeup playtime and not a lot for daily use. But it is so hard to keep my little fingers out of it for makeup playtime, especially these like creamy, like the creamy sort of like shifty shades, the really bright ones. I often use them kind of as toppers. I'll like pat them over top again in like a more neutral eye look to really light it up. And I also really like these mattes, these like purpley bluey mattes. So I'm gonna hang on to this one. I already feel like I've picked 3 palettes out to try to use in the coming weeks, so I'm not going to also do that to this one, but I am going to try to work up the courage to wear some of these brighter colors on a daily basis. You guys, this is the Kevyn Aucoin Nude Pop palette. I feel like it's a little bit on the chopping block because I just never use it. And I love everything about it. I love the way that it looks. I love the packaging. I really like the formula. And in theory, like these shades would work well for me. I love this shade the most. That's the one that I really think about. And I also really love that one, that sort of oil spilly one. I just don't know. I don't know if I have the fortitude right now to actually declutter it, but it's on the chopping block. So it's another one. I'm going to put it, I'm not really like shopping my stash for it, but I'm going to put it towards the front when I put everything back. And I'm going to try to use it on a daily basis in the coming weeks and like really figure out if I need to keep it or not. This is another magnetic palette. Oh, this is where I store my Clionadh shadows. Most of them are in my travel palette, or like half of them are in my travel palette right now. I really love this little Kaleidos palette. This was a gift. And I think two of the shades are in my travel palette. No, 3 of them. 3 of the shades are in my travel palette right now, including the black, which is like the best black ever. And I do find that I end up reaching into this a lot like as an accent palette for the black or for like the metallic greens and golds rather than building a whole look from just this. But every time I have built a whole look from just this, I have really loved it. This is another magnetic palette. I think it's empty. Yeah. Okay. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're fine. This is the moment of truth, you guys, because I think this is the only palette that I've ever held on to for sentimental reasons because it was a gift from my sweet friend and subscriber, Wendy, and I have such amazing memories attached to receiving it. The reality is just that the mattes don't perform the way that I think they probably did when they were new, those reds. And I have other neutral, like the mattes that do perform well, like the neutrals. I have so many Natasha Denona palettes by now that I can reach into for those kinds of things. This is the wrong shade. Cosmo should be in here, and I think it's in my travel palette right now. But essentially what I'm getting at is that I might actually be ready to let this go. I might ask Lauren if she wants to take this for a little while and try it. I'll put Cosmo back in. Gosh, it's hard. I just feel like the palette as a unit, I'm not like going to it for inspiration, for like palette inspiration anymore, because several of the shadows aren't really performing up to snuff. And then when I reach into it to take singles out to use them, there are only a couple of them that I'm ever really like leaning on. And the ones that still work really well, especially the metallics that still work really well, they just aren't different enough in my collection from what else I have to warrant me keeping this when I feel like I could maybe give it to someone like Lauren who might have fun playing with it. So I'm going to ask her. I'm going to put this in my giveaway box for now and consider to declutter, but I am going to ask around and try to find someone who wants to take it, who I know, like, and who I can like hand it off to in real life, who will like understand the situation of it being like a twice inherited palette and still want to mess around with it. But I think it's like one of those things where it took me several declutters because of the sentimental value, but at the end of the day, I'm actually not one to keep something just for sentimental value, and I think I've really gotten to that point where I'm ready to let it go. Okay, and then these are all singles, and I don't think I have the fortitude right now to go through my singles. I don't really think we need to do that, but you guys know this is like that giant palette from Adept, and these are both smaller palettes from Adept that have my singles in them. I'm actually not even going to try to open them up right now because I think it'll be hard to open them with one hand, but I am going to go ahead and put all of these back, starting with the ones in the front that I want to try to use more often. Okay, let's get through this drawer before Joe comes back from the gym. So here's the drawer. And in the back here, all I have is my curling iron, which I rarely use. And back here, there's a box of lashes, which I also rarely use. But apart from those two things, there's nothing else back there gunking it up. And I really like the feeling that I know exactly what's back there and that there's not much. And there are no mysteries. So in here, I just have 3 cardboard box lids, or bottom halves of boxes. They make great little dividers for this drawer. And on this side, we have highlighters and blushes. So there's the Elsie Cosmetics powder highlighter. There's this Stila Heaven's Hue putty highlighter. I really like those. And then this is my other powder highlighter, which is the Ofra Madison Miller Moon Dance highlighter. And these are my other 2 putty highlighters, the Fenty Beauty Original Diamond Balm and then ColourPop Spoon. Those are all of my like true highlighters, except for the cream one, the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Spotlight Wand, or Beauty Light Wand in the color Spotlight, I believe, is also just like a true highlighter. I've got this kind of weird product, which is almost completely used up. It's from Lacquer & Co., the blush lighter. I'm basically panning this. I'm almost finished with it. It'll be in my empty soon. And this is the New Drop Lumi Cheek from Holika, which I'm also probably going to try to turn into an empty pretty soon. There's just little bits left around the edge. I love those 2 products, though. They're sort of like glowy, sheer blushes. The Can Make Cream Cheek, love it so much. The Physicians Formula Dewy Blush Elixir. This is that CoverGirl blush I decided to keep. It's in Flushed. It's also a cream blush. This is ColourPop Roosevelt, Glossier Dusk. This is that Lila B blush in Be Lovely. It's a blush and lip product, but I mostly use it as a blush. Oh, I guess this is another pure highlighter. This is the Fluid Universal Balm in Elysium, and it's like a glowy, glistening, wet look balm. So maybe it should be more over there, because it's like more just a highlighter. It doesn't have color in it. Oh, this one too, the Gel Me highlighter from Holika. So those are like jelly style highlighters, and these are more like blushes. Yeah. These are my 2 Kjaer Weis blushes. One's in Joyful, and one is in Abundance. That's this one, which actually already has teeny tiny pan on it. Can you see that? There's Joyful. So pretty. The Rituel Defee blush in Eros. Clinique Nude Pop. And then these are like my heavy-hitting powder blushes right here. So my 2 Lancome blushes, Mocha Havana Shimmer and Miel Glacé. The Kevyn Aucoin Sunrise Light. So this is the Neo Bronzer, and it's supposed to be just a bronzer, but to me it's like a blush, and it goes from dark to light. It's just so rosy that it works as a blush on me. And then this is the Kevyn Aucoin Neo Highlighter in Sahara. And I believe that they've discontinued this mega size, which used to cost like $60, and they have re-released it in this little size. and now it's only like $38. So I think when I use this up, if I go to repurchase it, I'll be able to repurchase this little size, which is better because this one, as it gets worn down, it becomes very delicate. So this next box here has my complexion products in it. So these are the primers I'm using right now. The Dermalogica one, the Clarins SOS primer, almost finished. The VDL Lumi Layer primer, my favorite. This one is by Yensa, the Essential Glow primer. I really like that too. And then the Glossier Future Dew. And then these are my color correcting drops from Algenis. And these are my two complexion products right here. This is the foundation that I usually use for photo shoots, the Stay Naked. And then this, I'm not sure about. I've been keeping it around. It's the CoverGirl Clean Fresh because the color is a really good match for me. And sometimes when I use it, I feel like it is really skin-like. And sometimes when I use it, I feel like it looks really cakey and makeup-y on me. And then I recently saw Samantha March's video in which she had like an allergic reaction to it. And I'm just not sure about it. I think I might, I don't know if I'm fully ready to declutter it right now. I feel like I need to give it a couple more tries. But last week I was like, I need to give this a couple more tries. And I did give it another try this week. And I didn't really like the way that my skin looked when I had it on. So, here's the thing. It looks good on my under eyes and on my cheeks. And it never really looks good on my chin. But my chin is where I need coverage from this kind of thing. So I think I can go ahead and declutter this. I've really been using it as a concealer, and I have concealers that I like better. So here's where I keep my like daily use items. So mascara, this is my one waterproof mascara. My On Its Last Legs Milani Mascara. Oh, this can go. So I took this out because this is almost done. I took this out of the backups box because I've never tried it before, the Bad Gal Bang from Benefit, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. So unfortunately, I can't donate it because I tried it out, but this is how things go. When you decide to try mascaras, you're running the risk that you're going to waste them if you hate them. And that's what's going on with this. It's just, I don't like that really, really skinny brush. I feel like it just coats my lashes a little bit. It doesn't give me the volume that I love. I love that gunky volume, and this just isn't designed for that. So that's gonna go. I am gonna hang on to the Glossier mascara for my bottom lashes. The Makeup Forever concealer and the Hourglass fluid thing are on their last legs, but I'm gonna keep scraping the bottom. These two YSL products, the Touche Eclat and the Touche Eclat High Coverage, are really beautiful. I've been using them for a long time though, so they're probably close to done as well. This CoverGirl Brow, Easy Breezy Brow, I also love, also on its last legs. This is an epilator that I use for the hair on my face, Peach Fuzz. I didn't clean my stuff, by the way. I should have said this at the beginning. If you don't like dirty stuff, then this might be triggering for you, but I'm sorry, this is just how my stuff is. My stuff gets dirty. Once in a while I clean it, but I haven't cleaned it recently, and I wasn't going to just clean it just for this video. This is just real life. This is exactly how my stuff is. It's like kind of clean, but not the cleanest. This is the eye primer that I'm using. It's the only one I have right now, Urban Decay Primer Potion. This is a little sample of the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder Foundation that I'm still testing. This is my spot concealer from NARS. Oh, this is another mascara that I've kind of been making my way through. It's okay. It's from Grande Lash. It's okay. And a little chapstick that I sometimes use. I'm actually going to pop this up here. It shouldn't be down there. Oh, this I never use. This is the Moonshot. It's like a brightening sort of skin tone evening cream. And it's been in here since the beginning of the year. It's been in here since last year, and I just never, ever, ever use it. Sometimes I used to try to mix it with complexion products. It's just not my jam right now. I think I'm gonna pass it on. This is my glitter box. So Slayfire Sully, Lemonhead White Rabbit, Lemonhead Dirty Penny, Slayfire, can't remember the name, really pretty. Lemonhead Tokyo something, really pretty. This is the Lemonhead Clear Gel that you can use to stick on other loose glitters. And this is a really nice Deck of Scarlet product that I got at in PR at BeautyCon. Really good, like, glitter liner. 2 Urban Decay glitter liners and a glitter glue. And then back here, I have my 2 face powders, the one from Givenchy and the one from Kevyn Aucoin. This is just where I store them to keep them out of the way. I don't use them very often. Here I have 3 brushes, and I feel like I only need 1. So this has been my brush. I liked it because it matched this little mirror, which came from like a Korean spa near my house, but it's just not a good brush. And I recently received this brush in PR. It's from Spornet, and it's a fantastic brush. It's really, really good at getting all of the loose hairs out of my head. I only brush my hair once a week. I do it right before I wash it, and I don't brush my hair pretty much during the week. So it's important that a brush gets in there and like grabs all of the little hairs when I'm brushing it, because it's the only opportunity for me to get loose hairs out of my head. And this one does so much better of a job than this one ever did. It's making me realize how bad a brush this was. So I'm going to actually declutter that brush. Even though it matches the mirror, it's just at this point in my life, that's not a good enough reason to keep it. I want to keep this one. And then this is like a little teasing brush. Like you can use it to brush your hair backwards and tease it up. And I haven't used it in like a year. So I'm going to declutter it too. And then I just have this one brush, and that's really all I need. Here we have some dirty makeup sponges, some sharpeners, some tweezers and bobby pins and hairbands, my butterfly clip, and then back here are sheet masks. And that's it! So let's return to this situation right here. I'm happy to declutter those, happy to declutter that, and that, and that. Definitely the mascara. I think I can. I might play a little bit with these 2 complexion products tonight and just double check to make sure that I really want to get rid of them, but I think I am pretty sure that I do. I'm going to hang on to this. I've been thinking about it as I've been filming the rest of this video. I've been really into a shimmery top coat lately, like really into it, and I think I might still fall back in love with this. So I'm going to pop it back in its spot. But I think I've made my peace with getting rid of this. I am going to replace that shadow that was switched out of it. But that makes 1, 2, probably 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little decluttered items from this tour of my vanity. So after I double check and make sure I really do want to declutter these tonight, I will mark 8 on my stuff out list for the year, because this is my year of less stuff. So I'm keeping loose track of how many things I acquire and how many things I let go. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching this tour of my little beauty corner and of all of my stuff. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you are remembering to take extra good care of yourself right now so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.